What is up, beautiful people? Welcome. Happy Veterans Day to all of our vets out there. Thank you so much for your service to our country, your sacrifice to our country. That is a debt that can never be repaid by any of us. So shout out to all the vets, young and old, to all the vets. We appreciate you most certainly. And again, we are thankful. So happy Veterans Day to you, to everybody else. Welcome. Happy Monday, right? Another edition of the Single Life. We are here and it's time to get locked and loaded. As always, man, I appreciate you 1,000 times over for locking into the stream. And without further ado, let's get active, all right? So, today's topic, right? Today's topic, I want to discuss, and as I just want to let you guys know, I'm going to switch over to my laptop in just a second. It was like dead, and I had to rush and find a charger for that. So, I want to switch over to that as soon as I get a chance to. But I will say, today's topic is about us and our ability to not only this, we often make goals, right? All of us make goals. We specialize in making goals. It's what we do, and we do it well. We make goals. Yes, we make goals. But the question that I have, and the question that I want to pose to the table today, is what happens after we make those goals? Why do you feel that our execution of said goals doesn't seem to be as strong as the goal making process? Right? We do goals. Yes. We do goals. Like I said, we do it very well. We write goals with the best of them, right? You may drive down the road and be like, oh man, here, I want to do this. Or, oh man, here's a goal. I want to do this. I want to do this. Yeah. We have goals and goals on top of goals, right? But the thing that I'm saying to you is this: when it comes to the execution of the goals, there's something major that's missing, and that is what we have to discuss, and that is what we have to dive into today. And I'm about to make the switch to my laptop. So yeah, if you will just bear with me for just a second. Let's bring me in here. Take me out there. Boom. All right. So yeah. We are good to go now. Think we should be good. Let's close it out. All right. So yeah. We're good. Okay. Yeah. All right. So cool. Good switch. All right. So now let's get into it. Right. Planning versus goals. I'm sorry. I apologize for that, man. I just needed to kind of get that switch. I'm way more comfortable talking on my laptop than I am. Right. All right. So Tangi, you said you need a step-by-step plan, right? That's what we're going to talk about, right? Because like I said, we're proficient at writing goals, but the execution is poor, right? Because what tends to happen? We write goals, right? And you can think about it like this: in the last 3 to 5 months, how many goals have you written for yourself? In the last 3 to 5 months, how many goals have you written for yourself? That's question A. Question B is, are we still in pursuit of those goals, or did we let them go? And that's just 3 to 5 months. You may have written goals at the start of November, and today is November the 11th, and we are already outside of that scope when it comes to that, right? So here's the thing that we have to do, right? Because the goal planning is the easy part. Writing out a goal, that's the easy part. That is absolutely the easy part, writing out the goal. The execution of said goal is where discipline has to join the party. It's where commitment has to join the party. It's where dedication has to join the party, right? So I know normally on this platform, I talk about, how we eat. And I talk about different things we can eat and how what we eat affects the body, right? But I think I have done a disservice to you because I've preached goals to you, but I haven't preached the proper way to plan for the goal or the proper way to execute said goal. And that's why a lot of us just have the start, stop mentality, right? And we never get to see the goal through. So, like I said, the goal planning is the easy part, and it's the most exciting part. We get so excited to write out a new goal. You think about it. You come up with a new goal, man. You telling your friends, oh, yeah, man, I'm gonna start this Monday. I'm gonna start this eating clean, or Monday, I'm gonna start this new, I'm gonna start the keto diet on Monday, right? We get so excited about the goal. But the planning process of the goal is where we fall short because that's no fun. See, the planning process is where you have to map out what you are going to do each and every day. You don't agree with that? All right, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you were to think like right now, that's my stairwell going upstairs behind me, right? And I walk up and down those steps all the time, multiple times a day. And I'm gonna ask you a question. I know the answer for me, but I'm gonna ask you. You don't have to answer in the chat. Just think about it though. How do you go up and down steps? How do you? What is your methodology for going up a flight of stairs or going down a flight of stairs? One step at a time, right? I'm sure. I'm sure. Now, younger me, I would love to jump down the steps and see how many I could jump down, right? Till I saw somebody get hurt doing that. And then that just ended that whole process, right? So now I walk, I touch every single step. I don't skip any. I touch every single step up and down, right? Why do you all think that we understand that approach physically going up steps because we don't want to fall, but we don't take that same approach to the execution of our goals, meaning a step at a time? We don't rush the process and we don't try to skip the process. We know I can't jump 5 steps at a time going up the steps. I can't. Right? I could try, but I can't. So I won't approach it that way. So I'm saying if we don't approach steps that way, stop approaching your goals that way. Your goals are going to get achieved one step at a time. So when you write out the goal, now we have to plan, how do I get to the goal, right? Because I am at point A. My goal is point M, and there are a lot of steps from A to M. But what happens is we don't plan properly for the steps. We don't plan properly for the steps. We just want to go to the goal. We want to go to the finish line, right? So you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself about where you are. See, if you can't be honest with yourself, then the question is, who can you be honest with? And a lot of times in goal planning, or we did the goal, but in planning on how to attain or achieve the goal, we're not honest with where we are, your starting point. You have to be honest with where you are. If you are out of shape, you have to be honest with the fact that you're out of shape. Be honest with you, right? If you struggle with whatever it is you struggle with, be honest with yourself. Don't lie to you, and don't try to write a plan based on a lie. Because if you started with a lie, that's another burden that's going to keep you from getting to the finish line. Because now you got to overcome the lie before you can even start going after your goal. So be honest with yourself about where you are. You know, we talked about walking, which leads to a jog, which leads to a run, right? But if you get tired in walking 5 minutes, don't start with a lengthy goal like, all right, I'm going to walk 10 minutes a day. Baby, if you're tired in 5, you're not going to get to 10. Start with the 5. But see, it doesn't always sound good telling somebody, man, I walk 5 minutes a day. Because you know the natural question is, well, why you only walk 5 minutes? Why you only walking 5 minutes? Why not walk 10 or 15? Be honest with where you are. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You know the starting point. You know the starting point. And see, oftentimes we try to water down the starting point. It's like, oh man, it's not that bad. Okay, I'm good. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And you keep, it's not that bad, and you don't even realize you are backtracking. You're not even going anywhere near the goal. We are moving backwards because we're not honest with where we are, step one. Hey, I struggle with this. And so because I struggle with it, I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not going to go around it. I have to address it. Okay, I'll give you this. When you do a plan, one thing I can tell you that both of my parents specialize in, and it used to frustrate me because I didn't understand the value of what they were doing. Say we're planning an event of something that takes planning to some level. Everything takes planning, right? So we're planning whatever the function is. And so both of them, my mom and my dad, they will pick apart the plan. Okay, what happens if that doesn't go right? Okay, well, what happens if this person doesn't show up and this person doesn't show up? Then what happens? Okay, well, you're planning for this number of people, but what happens if this number of people shows up, right? They will pick apart the plan. And younger, immature version of me, and sometimes if you catch me on the right day, I might still make the same mistake now, right? Because when we make a plan, we tend to fall in love with the plan and say, this is perfect. This is perfect. And so because it's perfect, we are too prideful to go back and look at the plan and figure out where the flaws in the plan are. Because if you address the flaws, it's only putting you in a better position to be successful, right? So you have to be okay exposing the flaws of your plan to yourself. So here's the thing. Let's say, all right, so we're starting and we say, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I know we are now full swing into the holiday season, right? You got Thanksgiving and then you got Christmas and then boom, right into the new year. And this is where people tend to either lose what they've been working on or start spinning in the mud about what they want to do because we're not honest about the actual approach, right? We're not honest about the approach. So you say this, okay, all right. So here's my goal. If my goal is to lose weight, or if my goal is to stay on track and eat better, make better decisions, right? If those are my goals, now I have to plan what happens if I don't meal prep, right? What happens if I didn't get a chance to get by the grocery store? What happens? What are some restaurants that I know that I can go to and still eat a clean meal to get by today so that I can prepare tonight and get back on track? Not, oh man, I forgot to cook. Now I just got to go eat KFC or, go somewhere and get me a 10-piece with some Cajun ranch fries. That's not the move. And what tends to happen is, boom, now you fell short of your goal. So you just like whitewash the rest of the week. It's like, all right, well, I messed up yesterday, so I may as well just go down that road for the rest of the week. Plan for the failure. Failure is okay. Listen to me. Failure is okay in this regard as long as you do one thing. Learn from the mistake. So, okay, I had a plan and I failed. Now I can examine where I failed and why I failed. So when I make my plan tomorrow to restart or whenever I reset on my plan, I know to include the failure in there and to figure out how to get around the failure. See, at this point, we should be proficient in our failures because we failed so many times. Now we should be able to plan for how to get around the failure. But again, you have got to be honest with yourself. You cannot keep lying to yourself about what your weaknesses are. If you know the weaknesses, then plan for the weaknesses, right? So if the weakness is sweets, when you go to the store, don't say, all right, I'm going to just get some and I'm going to eat it, like every Tuesday. You are not there yet. Be honest. So because I'm not there, I'm not even going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. Because I'm not there, hey, when my friends invite me out, listen, y'all, right now I'm working on something. And if y'all love me the way you say you do, you will respect that. Please don't put pressure on me and make me feel bad about not going because I'm working on something. And when I get a little stronger, when I get on track, right? When I'm better moving towards my goal, then I can come around you all and I have the ability to practice abstinence as it pertains to eating or doing the wrong. I have the ability to practice that. I have the ability to abstain from that, right? But be honest with yourself. Can I give you another trade secret that a lot of people miss on? Okay, you set a goal, right? Again, I told you we are proficient at setting goals, not the best at the planning for the goal. So here's the thing. We have got to stop setting goals so far from where we are. Because what happens is you're not able to celebrate the small achievements, right? The steps, one step at a time. You're not able to celebrate the fact that you went from 1 to 5 because you're too busy focused on step 50, right? So set small goals. And as you achieve small goals, achieving small goals equals greater success. But set small goals, right? So what happens is we set great goals and then we miss on the great goal and we beat ourselves up. We're real disappointed, sad, angry, aggravated. And then we just throw the whole goal system away because our goal was too great. If you want to lose 50 pounds, that is great. I'm not knocking that. If that is something that's needed or if it's something that you want to do, that's a great goal. But don't start with 50, start with 5. It's the same. In order to get to 50, you got to lose 5. So I'm going to start with 5. I'm going to set attainable goals. Set attainable goals. Set attainable goals. I'm going to start with 5 pounds. Oh man, I can celebrate that I lost 5. So now I'm saying, oh man, I'm going to lose 5 more. Notice I didn't say go to 10. I just told myself I'm going to lose 5 more. What did I do? I subconsciously tricked myself to go after a goal of 10 pounds, but with a smaller number at 5. So now I'm more confident as I hit 5 and I hit 5. Oh man, I'm going to go after my third set of 5, but I'm going to say I'm going after 5 more pounds. You don't have to tell people what the overall goal is. You just tell people, oh, what you doing, man? I'm just trying to lose 5 pounds. I'm trying to lose 5. Well, what's the 5 going to do? Get me to step 2? Okay, and then when you lose that 5, what are you going to do? Go after another 5, which is going to be step 3, right? Set attainable goals. That way, as you achieve them, or even if you make a mistake and you fall off, you know that you can get right back on track and go after the 5. You don't feel bad starting over and going after the 5 and recalibrating the mistakes and going after the 5 again. You don't feel bad there. But going after 50, it's like, man, I've been trying to lose 50 for a month. And you can't even celebrate the fact that you did lose 25. Okay. All right. So don't be afraid to pick your plan apart. Don't be afraid to destroy your plan. Destroy your own plan. Okay, cool. Here's what I want to do. Now, what do I need to do? Because each day you get a 24-hour cycle, right? So I need a daily plan for how to get to the big plan, right? So that's a small goal. How do I get through the day? So if it's eating better and you know you eat at work and most people around you aren't on the same thing that you're on, you've got to have a specific plan for how do you deal with work, right? How do you deal with work? Maybe it's at lunchtime. You don't go eat lunch with your friends. You eat alone right now. You eat in the room right now. You eat in the car right now. You have to do what works for you. And then you've got to understand this. That brings me to another point, which is the biggest point that we have got to understand. Listen and listen well, please. You have got to make goals that align with you and where you are going and what you're doing. You cannot make goals based on my goals. Yeah. See, you may have friends and your friends may do something and you like, girl, I'm going to jump on board with you. Or bro, I'm about to jump on board. I'm going to do what you're doing. We're going to hit that goal together. We can't hit it together because I'm not built like you. I'm not wired like you. The goal that you're on is not where I want to get there. I want to get there, but I'm not there right now. So I have to set a goal for me. I may have an accountability partner. I may have friends around me, but listen, I have to set a goal for me. I got to do this for me. I can't do this for we, W-E. I have to do this for me, singular, just me. I got to start with me. Be accountable. Yes, okay. Even if you want an accountability partner, talk to your partner about your goals. Allow your partner to pick apart your goals. Allow your partner to pick apart. Allow your partner to tell you, hey, listen, I love you. And I love you enough to be honest and tell you that that's not going to work. Or even if it's not, that's not going to work. I love you enough to tell you that's not your starting point. Your starting point is really 4 steps behind that one. You got to be honest. You got to be honest. Set small, achievable goals, right? So when you make your overall goal, cool, I know this is the big goal. That's where I want to be. It's almost like a vision board. Before we even go to a vision board, let's think about this. If you've ever bought a house or you've ever bought a car or, anything of that nature, you went on a big trip, you know what I mean? There was a planning process, right? You didn't just literally go to whoever your lending bank was and say, hey, I want to buy a house today, there was a process, right? There's a process. To everything in life, there's a process. This is no different. There's a process, right? So have endurance to withstand the up and downs, the wins and the losses of the process, right? I can remember in the house hunting process where I would get really frustrated. I would get really frustrated because like I would find a house and I would say, all right, I want to go see the house. And then the house would get into a bidding war and the price of the house would jump like 25, 30, $40,000. And I was like, I'm out. I'm not in a bidding war. I'm not here for that. Right. And so it got frustrating. It like got so frustrating to the point that I said, I am taking a break from looking for a house. I'm done. I'm done. I'm completely done. And I just started to pray about it. And I said, God, just give me direction as far as where I need to be and what I need to be doing. And I'm saying that because of this. The city that I purchased my house in was like so far down my list. It wasn't even where I wanted to live. It wasn't number one. It wasn't number two. It wasn't three. It wasn't four. And it wasn't five. It wasn't. Now I look back and I'm like, God, you helped me in a way that I didn't know, because there are things that have been advantageous for me being in this city and of that nature, right? That I would not have known because I kept trying to press my way. Why did I just make that point to you? Because you also need to invite God in this process. Yes. See, the word says, in our weakness, he is made strong. Well, if, listen, food is a weakness. Sweets are a weakness. Your commitment to the goal is a weakness. Your ability to stay on track is a weakness. So I don't have to try to do it by myself. I invite God in and say, God, listen, here's the goals, right? I'm going to pray about it. God, give me strength, right? God, give me the ability to say no. Give me the ability to stay disciplined. Give me the ability to stay on track, right? You've got to be able to navigate that. And God is the greatest barometer for setting the temperature for what you need to do to attain that goal. Right? Like a lot of times I feel like we set goals, but then we say these goals are goals I need to tackle with God, and these are the goals that I can do by myself. It's a reason why you hadn't hit it, because it wasn't meant for you to do it by yourself. See, there's a formula or there's something that God will give you that'll unlock something in your mind that you never knew was there that needed to be unlocked. Yeah, it all comes back to God. I'm not going to tell you that I do anything without God, because I don't. It's always going to come back to God. I'm going to invite him in. Right? So listen, all right, listen, because I want to close. I really kind of been, 22 minutes. Well, maybe a little longer because I started on the phone. All right. I want to give you guys a quote, but before I give you guys a quote, I want to say this. Momentum is a game changer. Momentum is a game changer in the planning process, right? Because what happens is day one seems so hard because it's the first day, right? It's always hard because it's the first day. It's the day that you have the most change. It's the day that you have the most resistance. It's the day that your body's pushing back. It's the day that mentally you may not be there. It's the day that you're aggravated, right? Day one is always hard. But after you tackle day one, day two got easier because you know you made it through day one, right? So in day two, when you get mad and when you get upset and when you face those same feelings and frustration, you go back to what got you through on day one, momentum. Now, when I get to day three, guess what? I have 2 days under my belt of doing this, right? So I can get back into it. And guess what? Even if you mess up and you fall short, you can still look at the momentum and say, man, I did that for 3 days. Okay, I got this. I know what my mistake was. I'm going to fix that. Be honest with yourself. I'm going to fix that. And then I'm going back because now I want that streak to go higher. I want to go past 3. I want to go 5 days. Right? Then you start to fall in love with the momentum, and the momentum begins to drive you. Right? So momentum is a great factor that I don't think a lot of us really kind of key into in this process. Momentum is a beautiful thing. Get started and then lean into it. All right. But listen, so here we go. I want to close out. And let me hit this because I didn't say this. Hold on. When I in the point where I talked about being committed to your plan and having people around you that will pick apart your plan. Be honest with yourself that your plan is not perfect. Your plan is not perfect. If your plan was perfect, you would have been working it. You would have been doing it, right? The plan isn't perfect. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Pick apart the plan and understand I may have written out a great plan, right? I'll tell you this, like when I type up memos and things like that for the company, I'll take it to Dr. B. She's like a wordsman, so I'll have her go through it. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a great writer, and she'll tell you, she'll say she has to make very minimal corrections. I'm a great writer. It's something I always pride myself on. But I still get frustrated when she pulls out that red pen, even if it's a comma. I'm like, man, how did I miss that? Right? I felt like this memo was perfect, or I felt like this letter was perfect. It's never going to be perfect. It's okay. It's never going to be perfect. So your plan will never be perfect. The execution of the plan will never be perfect. The failures are great. You're made strong in the failures. I want you to know you learn something from the failures, you grow in the failures, okay? But listen, I want to end with one simple quote. If you guys will let me give it to you. Here we go. Yeah. No. Hold on. My bad. I need to pull it up. All right. Hold on 2 seconds. If y'all just bear with me, I apologize. Mm, 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 mm. No. 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 All right, here we go. Yeah. All right, got it. Got it. All right, so take this down if you are taking notes. It's something that you can kind of stand on and live on and just kind of go back to it. Um, it says this, it's real simple. Plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. I'll say it again. Plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. We have got to become proficient at working our plan. You set the plan, now let's work it daily. You set the plan, work it. You set the plan, work it. It's simple. It's not multiplication, it's not division. It's simple. You set the plan, now work the plan that you set. Listen, we're going into this holiday season. You got Thanksgiving in a couple weeks. Today's the 11th. You have Thanksgiving in a couple weeks. Plan for Thanksgiving. Plan to have that Thanksgiving meal. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel guilty. Plan for it. Tell yourself, hey, on Thanksgiving, I'm going to eat till my heart is content. That one day, I'm going to enjoy those meals. And then after Thanksgiving, back on track. Plan for it. But what tends to happen is we don't plan for Thanksgiving as if we're surprised. Thanksgiving comes, you eat everything, and then you get up the next day and it's like, I want to eat it again. And plan for that one day. Enjoy that meal. Enjoy it. Truly enjoy it. And then get back on track. Plan for it. Plan for it. Okay? Plan for it. Set the plan and then work the plan. Okay? Hey, listen, as I close, like I started, I want to say thank you to all my vets out there. Thank you so much. We appreciate your service. That is a debt that can never be repaid. All right? That is a debt that can never be repaid. Thank you all so much for your sacrifice, your commitment, the mental sacrifice, as well as the physical sacrifice that you all went through for us. We appreciate that. Outside of that, you all have an awesome Monday, a great week. Remember, let's get that momentum started, and then we're going to lean into it. All right.